friends, how's everybody doing? Today I am fashioning the stylings of my children. We had a fun tie-dye day during this quarantine where we just grabbed a bunch of old white clothing and we just tie-dyed everything. And so I gave the kids one of my jackets that I had kind of cut up and was trying to make it look cool, you know. I was like, hey, you guys, have at it. And so they did. It's super cute. I love it. And this shirt I did myself. Let me know down below what you guys have been up to during your quarantine. I'm super curious. What have you found yourself doing that you haven't done in a while? Or what have you found yourself doing that you've been putting off for a long time? Now let's jump into today's video because today we are going on a drugstore haul in my makeup cabinet. Today I'm going to be putting on all drugstore products, and when I say drugstore, I don't mean Ulta or Morphe, I mean CVS, Walgreens, occasionally a Walmart thrown in there, but you get the idea. We are going to look gorgeous and on a stinking budget. So if you guys like me, you like what I do here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. Let's get into this video. If you guys watch my channel, you do know that I love to do my eyes first, and usually on my clients and models, I usually do their eyes first. It just makes sense for me. It's just easiest for me. Do whatever you want. But I've noticed on most of the videos that I like watching, almost every drugstore video, they are like, hey, sorry about the eyeshadows, but I ain't got nothing very good. We'll use this Rimmel or we use this CoverGirl, but we don't really like it. You know, they're always complaining that there is not a lot to choose from for popping eyes at the drugstore. Nay. I've talked about these palettes before on my channel, and I'm sure that I've used this probably several times on my channel, but these are some amazing eyeshadows. I actually use these in my professional kit because they're small, they're protected, they're cheap, they're convenient. They've got the SUNKISSED palette, which is all these gorgeous, like, jewelry, sunsetty type shades. And you can tell she's been loved, she's been appreciated. Next up is the Ultra Cool palette. This one has all cool tones, and I love this one because using cool tones is usually very decided upon carefully when you're doing makeup, and so I love that I have a whole palette that I can just grab and know that I don't have to look for any cool shades. They're all right here. And this is the first palette that I got, which is the Festival palette. She is stunning. Little Juno Birch shout out. But this palette reminded me of my very most favorite BH Cosmetics palette, the Festival palette. And so I grabbed it up, and it is just as good. It is just as good. I'm saying it right here, right now, just as good. And last but not least, another palette that goes in my kit. It stays in my kit. And it's one of my most favorite eyeshadow things that I have in my kit because it's just so easy to grab it for what I need. This is the Metallics palette, and they are all different shades of metallics. And so say I want to do, you know, a brown smoky eye, I can quickly just grab whatever gold will go with that, or whatever color I want. But if, say, it's a runway show and everybody's getting kind of a smoky eye but of a different color, perfect. Highly recommend. I heard most of America's drinking their way through the quarantine, so cheers to that. I think I want to do like a minty halo eye look. I don't know. We're just kind of thinking outside the box here. But I'm going to start with the Festival palette and start with this minty shade right here and see where it takes me. Boom. Pigmented. The house. Right now I'm just worried about stamping the color on and where I want it. So basically placement and color. Look at that though. Now I do know that Profusion is like a smaller brand. They're just now starting to come out with more products other than just eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and just follow that mint right under my eye. Usually when I prime my eyelids, I also prime my under eye. And then with a clean brush, I'm gonna start right at the top. Just scratch away at that top surface. And then I'm gonna go into the Ultra Cool palette and I'm going to grab this shade green right here. I'm just going to try and just slightly deepen up the outer edge. I'm gonna do the same in here. Going back in with the Festival palette, I'm going to use this shade right here. Another eyeshadow honorable mention would be these tiny little Almay, however you say it, little quad eyeshadows. This is in the shade 100 Unicorn, and it gives you 4 different textures of a white shade, and it's very pigmented white. I'm gonna go in with the second shade, which is the most like glittery, and go right down the center. Like that. So it's popping even more, honey. All right, moving on to mascara. I've got 3 that I love here. First up is the brand Essence. I basically like any of their mascaras as long as the wand isn't too huge. This is the Volume Stylist 18-Hour Wear Lash Extension Mascara with lengthening fibers. I like to mix this one with another mascara. This is the Revlon So Fierce, and she is very black and spiky, and she is real good about grabbing onto them hairs. And last up is the CoverGirl Professional Super Thick Lash Waterproof. And it is exactly what it says. If you need a lash to literally stay on all day and whatever, hit this at the very tips and it should last all day. And just like that, we are ready to do this face. Moisturizer, Aveeno. The new Wet n Wild Hydrating Primer. I'm not sure if it does anything, but it looks super cute. It's very watery. So I'm not sure like how I'm supposed to apply it, but I just kind of slap it on. And then of course the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now if you're trying to slather this stuff all over your face, yeah, it's not gonna work for you, honey. But if you're just pressing it into the areas where you have a lot of texture, it should work just fine. Don't leave no lumps or clumps because you're gonna be able to tell. I will always try and put a little bit on the area where I'm going to be planning to highlight, because that area for sure you do not want texture to show through if possible. Next up is foundations, and I've got 3 to talk about. One is the newly formulated and released Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Dewy. Also the new release of Wet n Wild Stick Foundations. And then what I tried in the last 2 videos, which was the CoverGirl plus Olay Simply Ageless Hyaluronic Acid. There's so many things on this. It's a good one. It's a little thick, so go light and then add if you need it. I think today I'm just going to go in with the Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. I never really understood why people say like what shade they are when they're using their foundation, because like how do you know that you match that person's shade? I don't know, but whatever. I'm in the shade Soft Beige. They definitely got the memo about the smell from the old foundation, you guys, the matte one. Let's see how it does on the schnoz, huh? I feel like that's always the test of a foundation, is to see how it goes on the schnoz. It's definitely beautiful. I mean, for, what is it, $4 and some change? It's amazing. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation in the shade Vanilla Beige. And this is what I'm going to use to do my concealing and highlighting. Alright, and then to brighten, I'm going to be using this CoverGirl, what is it called? True Blend Undercover Concealer. I hated it at first, but I've gotten used to it. My two favorite setting powders are definitely the CoverGirl Professional Clean and the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me powder under my eyes, like in my brightening areas. And then the CoverGirl Professional, I will just do all over the rest of the face. And then, of course, we all know Physicians Formula bronzer, but also Wet n Wild has these little babies right here, and they're pretty good. I like them. Just use the light hand. Now, I really like this bronzer because I feel like I can use it as my contour and my bronzer. So I'll go around my whole face with it with a big brush, and then I'll go in with a smaller brush, pack it on a little bit heavier. Just get that very back of the cheekbone to pop. Then I'll use that same shade to do my little contouring of my nose and eye area. Alright, for blush, sadly, there really isn't anything much new. We've got Flower Beauty, Milani, and one new thing from Honest Beauty. She's filthy, but they are the cream blushes. I like them. They're very versatile. And me personally, I like to just go in with a beauty blender and put it on with that. I mean, like, how dainty and cute is that? I am absolutely living for this look. Okay, setting spray. Essence brand has an instant matte spray. I like it. It's got a nice mister. It's small. And I feel like it's lightweight, but it really does hold the makeup on. You know, because we're going nowhere. Highlighter mentions. Wet n Wild. The Maybelline Master Chrome Studio in the shade, I think this is the Rose Gold. Yes, Molten Rose Gold. Perfect. And then my all-time favorite, which actually stays in my kit, is the Flower brand highlighter. It's got 3 shades and they're perfect. I just mix all 3 shades. Last but not least are the lips. Thank goodness, they probably look as dry as the Sahara right now. I love anything Infallible by Loreal. Then I love the Wet n Wild liquid lipsticks and their bullet lipsticks. They're all, I love them all. The glosses, the Stay Glossy glosses by Rimmel, I think are fantastic. I'm gonna start out with the L'Oreal Infallible shade Dose of Cocoa. And this is from their chocolate line, so it smells like chocolate. Does not taste like chocolate, but it smells like chocolate. So good. Next up is the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick shade in Caught You Bare Naked. And a little bit of Stay Glossy by Rimmel. I think, does this even have a shade? Oh yeah. Blushing Belgraves. What? And that is literally it, you guys. Lovely face of drugstore products. There's so many to choose from, but one thing I definitely keep hearing is that people think that there are no eyeshadow palettes that are worth your money at the drugstore. And I say nay, nay, that is not true. Profusion, I have 0 complaints about Profusion, especially about their prices. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And stay entertained, stay safe, and I'll see you guys over on my Instagram tonight for a special live at 10 p.m. And like I said before, if you like me, you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!